Hey guys, Ryan and Tam here. This is the star of the show today, little Nora.
The rain has just started to come down and she's 10 minutes away from sleep.
We've been living out of this van for the past 6 months and we've had Nora, who's now 4 months old. So we feel like we know a little bit about what life is like living in a van with a baby.
We're going to bring you along for a realistic day of what life is like with a baby in a van.
And just so you know, we don't have any affiliation with any products that we mention in here, but we just think these are great products that we use every day, so we stand by them.
This is suitable for anyone who's in a van, caravan, RV, or anyone planning to travel with a baby. All right, we better get this show on the road.
Let's start the video now.
Not at midnight, Ryan. They're going to be bored. Let's speed it up.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is 6:38 and you might have heard Nora scratching at the side of her bed, but that scratching means, Mum, Dad, I'm ready for a feed. So, you ready, honey? So typically, this is where we grab little Nora and we transfer her to the bed. She gets her first feed, eh? You ready, honey? Oh, big smiles. You want to say hello to everybody? All right. So a normal morning, I'll transfer Nora up to Tam, and then they start the feed and they'll go back to sleep for a little bit and have a nap. And it means I can use this area down here as a bit of a workspace. So I'll start doing a little bit of work now, but first I need to go to the toilet. I won't show you that. So one product we highly recommend is this bassinet. It's by a brand called Ergo Pouch, and we'll link it below. But the reason it's so good for vans, for caravans, for campers is it is tiny and it's foldable. All you do is this, click, click, and then it folds down, which is so great because then we can just tuck it away. It even fits in our drawer down here as well, so suddenly we've got this space here that we can use for work. Something that gets overlooked in vans, and for us, like having Nora, we thought this was super important. It's the ability to have some ambient lighting in the van, so not our overhead lights. But we do have this, just a cheap, I don't know what you call it, a reading light, I guess, that you clip onto a book. Perfect for this waking up in the morning or during the night. We also have, like, in our shower area, this the niche light just here, which is great because it actually gets blocked by our pantry, so it doesn't wake Nora up. And that's dimmable, so if you press this little switch here, it gets lighter. We always have it on the darkest setting. And we also have over here some toe kick lighting as well. I won't brighten it now because it'll annoy the girls. Alright, Tam's just warned me. Nora's done a couple of little poops while they were feeding, so I'm going to change Nora before it explodes. That's what Tam's words were. And then I'll set myself up and do a little bit of work because my voice is apparently... I never talk in the morning, so my voice is really putting Nora off her feet. So a little bit of quiet time. Just one more super simple tip. Make sure you have your coffee ready the night before. So it's just a press of a button and it's good to go. No clattering or banging to wake up the baby or the mum. Is that another poop? She's on fire.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey guys. So Tam and Nora are officially awake.
We slept in for quite a while.
Yeah, it was a big morning. It's almost, what is it, 11? What is it now?
11. Let's just say 11. I think it's past 11.
Soft start to the morning, which is good.
Yeah.
If you need it, you need it.
We've been awake for a while, no judgment.
One thing you probably noticed is the change of colour in here, or the light difference. we have got, you can see them at the back here, blackout blinds that personally we think are vital to having a baby in a van.
Yeah, we've just used windscreen visors on the inside.
You know, the foily, bubbly stuff?
Yeah, that I'm sure your mum struggled to put up when you're a kid.
And then we've sewn black fabric on the outside. Definitely need to have blackout blinds because if you go to any sleep school, the most important thing is darkness. Right?
Shall I show them how we...
Oh, yeah. So we've got magnets on there as well. Just hold it up. This one here is Velcro. We've also got one up here above the fan. A lot of people don't do this, but honestly, it lets so much light in. And we've got one at the front here as well. But it stays up most of the time because it keeps the sound out too when we travel. All right, this little one needs a change, so I'm going to do that. We're at a caravan park at the moment, so we're going to head in and have a shower. We find that caravan parks are great for us.
You know, every fortnight it's just easy to have all the things we need in one spot. So we do our laundry, have good showers, empty the toilet, empty the bin, do all the jobs.
It's not that expensive and it sort of feels like luxury when you pull in and
All right, one thing you need to consider in a van is where you're going to put your dirty laundry. So we've got this little chute here and it means you don't have anything lying around.
Yeah, some people have the one like a hamper that you put somewhere, but we just wanted to have a special place where all the laundry goes and you're not tripping over it or whatever. So,
all right, Nora and I are back at the van. Ryan's just having a shower. I'm going to whip up some smoothies and then we're going to get on the road. We were pretty bummed yesterday. Our favourite smoothie machine from Japan actually broke. So we quickly stopped in and got this one from electrical shop in Apollo Bay. The only bummer is it's not a 12 volt, so we have to connect it to the wall, which means we can't take the smoothies outside anymore if Nora's sleeping. So a bit annoying, but we've got lots of goodness in our smoothies this morning that will make it all better. So let's blend it up. This is very loud. Our other smoothie machine was much quieter, so Nora's probably thinking, what is going on with that noise?
she's on here. Okay, so this goes for, I think, anyone who's living in a van, not just someone who's got a baby, but you are going to need a really great space to put all your rubbish. Whatever rubbish you think you're going to use, double it. So we've actually gone with a double bin from, it's actually from Kmart, but it only costs $15 or something. Even though it's huge, we could still go bigger, I think. Quickly go and throw it out because we need to hit the road, right?
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing that's an absolute must is a really good nappy bin. I mean, when you live in a small space like this, any smell is like times 1,000. So make sure you get a nappy bin that has no smells that can be emitted. No smells. The one we chose it's called Ubi or Ubby, and it's phenomenal. So if you look online, it says it can hold 120 nappies. That would have to be the world's smallest baby, but we think this one probably holds about 55. So we've been on the road with Nora for 4 months and we've probably emptied it 4 or 5 times. The other big advantage of this bin is it can take any large bin bag. So you don't have to go to Baby Bunting and get the special ones for the brands that they sell. This one's literally just one from Aldi that we got, and it's exactly the same as the ones for our rubbish. So highly recommend. Oh, this is huge. Oh, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. I love it.
We've got one very sleepy girl here, don't we? She's been awake for about an hour and 45 minutes, and that is beyond her max awake time. See if you go to sleep in the car, hey?
You are so funny, honey.
Just here.
Can we jump out? we've misplaced our clippers and my fingernails, I don't know if you can see that. They need a chop. So Tam's just popped into the pharmacy while I entertain this little girl for a couple of minutes. So this dummy here is the glow-in-the-dark one, and it's seriously so good at, like, late at... it's funny, isn't it? And it's seriously so good late at night, just while Tam's gone. The reason that we picked the Fiat Ducato as our vehicle is there's this special button just down here that lets you toggle between on or off with the passenger airbags, and you actually can't have a rear-facing baby in a vehicle if the airbags can go off, because that can actually send the kid flying, like basically a catapult or a projectile. So that was a massive, massive factor in us choosing the Fiat Ducato as our vehicle. Take that into consideration if you're planning on a build or a van. How'd you go?
Good. I don't know.
Oh, they look fantastic.
And just got this too.
Oh, great. What is that?
So this is kids' sunscreen that we saw Ryan's sister use, and it rolls on a bit easier than the one we've been using. So what do you got the aircon on for?
I'm hot.
Take your jumper off.
So shall we hit the road?
She needs to go to sleep. Is that a new shirt, Ryan?
Can you tell?
It's very white.
It's all white. In a video about what to do when you have a baby, having a white shirt is not a great idea.
No, because what happened this morning?
Yeah, she peed all over me. So we've got this fridge here. Not a bad fridge. It's just a cheap King's one. Tam's breastfeeding, which is great, but if she wasn't breastfeeding, I feel like you'd need to have a better fridge with a better freezer. We just find a lot of the time that, like, it drips water. Yeah, I just think if you were freezing milk, you'd just want something that is a bit more reliable, because you'd hate to, express a heap of milk and then have to throw it out. So we're very fortunate that Nora's latch was great and that she could breastfeed, but if she couldn't, we'd definitely be getting a better fridge. That's for sure.
Thanks, son. Oh my god. Delicious.
All right, Branchy, so tell everyone why they should buy a Tula carrier.
Before having Nora, I did heaps of research on carriers and
Hours.
The Tula carrier that we got free to grow is amazing. It's got like a little newborn head for her, so she could be in it from 3.2 kilos.
Which is pretty much from the moment they're born.
Yeah, which is not all carriers. Some of them you have to wait until they're big enough.
Right through to
2 years old. So we've got this for a long time. It can go on our back.
Yep.
We can turn her around. She can be like this asleep.
And the other thing is it's super adjustable.
Probably takes 30 seconds to adjust it for the other person.
Yeah, do yourself a favour. If you're going to pick a carrier, do your research or piggyback off ours and grab yourself a Tula.
She seriously loves it. Like if we're ever struggling to get her to sleep, put her straight in the Tula.
Yep.
She fights it for a minute and then she's asleep. Like it's been our best friend.
If you don't love our grey, brown, I'm colourblind.
It's like a navy-ish colour.
Okay. If you don't like that, they've got lots of different colours you can pick and choose from. So.
Like really crazy patterns if you're into that.
Yep.
We just got this nice plain one.
Yep, plain Janes.
Plain Janes.
Also, if you're in this area, definitely come and check out this walk because incredible, right?
Yeah, we're loving it.
They say that this is like untouched from when the dinosaurs were around, so...
Which is really cool to think about, isn't it?
Super cool.
Ryan's dad recommended this one, so thanks, Maxie.
Yep, shout out to you.
When you draw a tree, you try to be so particular of all the branches and the way they go, but you look at something like that and you think you don't have to worry about anything. So this area here is pretty much Nora's zone, so she does sleep here at night, and when she's a bit older we see her playing here and sitting and doing lots of little things. This bed pushes all the way back to the wall, so it gives her a lot more space. We've also got all of her bits and pieces underneath in this drawer, and we've got a bookshelf here, and You know, if books aren't on show, you won't pick them up and read. And we want Nora to be exposed to as many books as she can, maybe even 1,000 before school. So it's really nice. We just grab a book out and give her a little bit of a read. And she's really loving it. Like, you can tell when she's engaged in a book, she's really calm and, yeah, happy. Right? So if you're like designing a van, make sure you've got a space where your books can be on display. It brightens up the space, but also makes you use them and get them out more often. Hand sanitizer is very important to have while in a van. And we've got an organic one, so that's a bonus.
Another thing that's great as well, this change mat. So, you know, the big ones with the tilted sides, you actually don't need one like that until they roll. So, oh, what are you doing, Hunt? So we've actually loved just having this little foldable one. It's been great.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Let's go to this campsite, eh?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I'm going to put Nora down for her afternoon nap. She was very close to sleep on that car ride. We like to put her on her belly during these naps because we've got the monitor set up, which means we can just keep an eye on her and make sure she's sleeping and, you know, she's safe. And plus, she really loves sleeping on her belly. I'm going to put her down and then Ryan and I are going to get some work done. As you can see, we have an awake baby. She was not feeling the nap today. Might try again in 20 minutes. In the meantime, we've got some delicious snackies for us, some bickies and dip, and sometimes it just doesn't go to plan.
Stop kicking me, Missy. So we've pulled into, I would say this is our favourite campsite of all time.
Yep, so far.
It's right on the very bottom of Victoria. It's in the Otways. It's called Blanket Bay.
Yeah.
And we've just had lots of really great memories here. We'd show you more, but we want you to follow along. So hit that subscribe button and you'll make sure you get it.
So no spoilers this week.
Tam worked really hard to get Nora to go to sleep.
Took a couple of hours though, so she ended up being very overtired and had a bit of a cry, but we got her there for an hour and a half at about 5:30.
Typically what we'd do is get her to sleep in the van, and then we'd sit outside and do a bit of work, so magazine work. And to do that, we've got what we think is the best monitor that you can possibly get for van life. It doesn't matter if you're in a caravan or a van. I think this is just...
Even a tent.
Even a tent,
just for camping.
This is great. So this is the actual camera. It's got a peg on the bottom, so you can literally clip it onto anything. It's a clamp or a clasp.
Which is what we were searching for her bassinet, so that we can just clamp it onto the side.
The camera's great. It actually has a lot of features, so it can act as a noise machine.
It can take like photos or videos.
It's also got a thermometer.
On here it tells us how hot or cold it is in the van at all times, so that we know.
The other feature is this can be used to hook up to your phone, but we haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Yeah, and this has been fine for now anyway.
Yeah. The other thing we haven't been able to show you so far, just because of the weather, at the back of the van, we don't have heaps of storage. We've got, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, we've got heaps of magazines in the back underneath the bed right now. We've got a big marquee. It's everything we need for markets for our in-mag business. So because of that, we needed to get a pram that could fit in there, but also one that was great for travelling because we'd have to get it in and out a lot. So,
good girl.
Excuse me, I'm trying to talk here and you're farting. So if you've seen a lot of our videos, you'll see us pulling it out and using it. It's so easy to use.
Yeah, it's a Nuna Mix Express or something. We'll put a link down below, but the reason that we got it was because the base of the pram is smaller than a lot of the others, meaning it does fit underneath. And it's super easy to fold up and down. We put it up in about 2 seconds. So.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to cook up a bit of a feed and you get a chance to chill out for a bit if you want. One of the big concerns people have with induction is obviously the draw of the power. For us, we haven't had any issues with it. Admittedly, we do live in Australia where we have sun pretty much all year round until we go to the beach. Then it's not sunny at all. I think we've got 400 watts of solar on the roof. And we've got a 300 amp hour battery, which, you know, it's not huge, but it's also not small. We've never really gone below probably 30%. And that's living in it full time. For us, induction just made sense. Personally, I think it's easier to clean. It doesn't make as much noise to set up compared to like a gas hob. I like the fact that it's gas. The whole van is gas free with a baby. And for me, I actually just think it's way easier to cook on induction because you know exactly what the temperature is going to be. Heats up so quick. Honestly, I couldn't recommend it more, especially with a baby. So yeah. Oh yeah, and did I mention 1 minute coffees? Can't beat that. Holy heck, is curry the easiest meal ever? Can you hear Paul's branch?
Really take a bite out of that.
I just realised 2 things I forgot to mention that I wanted to mention, or that we wanted to mention. Number 1, temperature control. So having a baby in here, it's really important to make sure the temperature's right, especially if we're outside. So we've got 2 things in here to accommodate that. Number 1, we've got our diesel heater. It's a V4 diesel heater. For us, it's just been awesome. Flick of a button and it heats up so quickly. You can set it so that it automatically comes on if it goes under a certain temperature. We've also got a max air fan, which sucks air in or out depending on what you want. The other cool thing about the max air fan is same thing. So you can automatically set it so that if it goes over 26 degrees, it turns itself on, which is great for what we're doing. And the last thing, this took a lot of research to find. We actually imported them from the UK. These lights, so they're super cool. They're touch-sensitive lights, which I couldn't find any in Australia at all. But instead of having to search for a switch, we literally just touch them, and they're also dimmable. So you touch them, they dim, which with a baby, it's just so great being able to create low light in a place if you want it, or high light if you want it.
I remember when Ryan first installed them, he sent me this cute video because I must have been sleeping. I was pregnant at the time. But he sent me this video of him touching it, being like, oh my God, look at the light.
I was excited, right?
Yeah, very excited. Okay, so it's about 8 o'clock and we're starting the nighttime feed with Nora. It usually takes her a couple of hours to really settle and be in a deep sleep. So at the moment, I feed her to sleep, and that's working well for us at nighttime anyway. She doesn't wake very much during the night, so if we give her a big feed now, then yeah.
It's a pretty great trade-off, really.
Yeah.
Just before we put her down, we're actually really big music lovers, so we pretty much have music going all the time when we're in the van. We just have to flick it off whenever we film. So every week we do a music review, and we've actually chosen an album that means a lot to us this week. Oh, hey, honey.
Dad's talking, isn't he?
This happens every time I talk when she's feeding. Oh, where's Dad? What's going on?
So the album is Gang of Youth's Angel in Real Time. We actually went to their gig 2 years ago, I think.
Probably 2 years ago, yeah.
And I just remember leaving that gig and being absolutely obsessed with this album. We had it on repeat for months.
We sort of think it's kind of fitting for this video as well. This whole album was written because the lead singer's dad actually passed away. So this whole album is basically a memorial to him. It's a really moving album once you realise that. The lyrics are phenomenal and the music is right up. Like, I seriously think these guys will be one of the biggest bands in the world at some point. So
yeah. And I don't know, there's something special about the way that he writes. Yeah. Definitely give it a listen. So
guys, we want to say a really big thank you for not only watching the whole video, but coming along with us, checking out what a day in the life with a baby, a 4-month-old is like. But also we really hope that you found a few of the things that we've recommended to be useful. And even if you're someone who's on the fence, like, oh, should I do this? Life in a van with a baby can seem pretty daunting. I think we both feel like at the stage she's at now, it's been really great. It's actually a really great lifestyle.
She's very calm when we come back to the van.
We actually went and stayed in a hotel with family for a couple of nights, 4 nights all up. She was really unsettled. And as soon as we brought her back to the van, her sleep patterns improved. She actually, as soon as we walked in, she did that big poo. It was like a release. Oh, I'm so relaxed. So if you're on the edge and you're thinking, should I do it? Our recommendation would be definitely, even if it's like just getting away on the weekends.
I was about to say the same thing, yeah. Great minds.
All right, well, thanks so much, guys. We feel like we've probably chatted your ear off. It's been a very different video for us. So
If you're enjoying these videos, make sure you like and subscribe so you get notified each time we release one.
thanks so much for branching out with us this week. We'll hopefully see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
Good night.